Welcome back, Dama Boots. Today I wanted to do a couple of things. First, I am holding the mala that I will be transferring, that we will be passing to Chaplain Tongping when he, a little bit later this year, probably May timeframe, give or take. So, that's going to be coming down the pipeline. I'll be TCSing probably to Fort Leonard Wood unless certain things happen and I go Air Force. In which case, who knows? Either way, the Dama Woods community will still exist, and I will still give weekly sermons as best I can. Sometimes I'm obviously going to fail at that. We'll try. But the other things that I wanted to do today, now that we've got the kind of announcements portion out of the way, is this week we have both Valentine's Day on the 14th, and which is today. So happy Valentine's Day. We'll be doing a meditation on loving kindness, and I'll do that in a separate video, but expect to see that one up as well. And then we also have, this week is when the Mahayana Side of the House celebrates the Buddha's passing. And so, as you will recall from previous videos and previous services, this is where the Buddha, when the Buddha was passing, he gave the monks asked, and he gave them the instructions, be a lamp unto yourselves. Let the Dhamma be your guide, right? So we're going to let the Dhamma be our guide. And we are going to ponder. I've got about 6 verses that I really wanted to go over from the Dhammapada. And I will give a brief sermon on it, but I really want us to ponder a specific thing that I think ties in. Now, bear with me, it doesn't tie in perfectly, but it's something that I think we need to really seriously take a look at and ask ourselves as Dhamma Boots, both those who are still in the military and those who have gone on to the civilian world. What do we do with promotions? Right? What are we looking at when we're looking at promotion? Why do we do what we do? Why do we serve? And what do we care about status and prestige, right? So, and I fully admit that those have just been rattling around my brain for months and months, and I don't know, this will be my reflection on the promotion system and the 3 poisons. Yay, Chaplain is wilding, and I'm probably gonna get myself, well, not so much in trouble because I'm giving a legitimate religious discourse here. But I'm certainly not gonna make myself any friends, now am I? So, let's go through this a little bit. The first ones are Dhammapada verses 18 through 20. And then we also have 392 and 393 that I wanted to go over. Right, and then we'll talk about how that relates to promotions and advancement and seeking things, right? So 18 through 20. The one who does good is happy both in this world and the next. He is happy when he thinks about the good he has done, and happier still when he contemplates the path ahead. The one who talks of the path but never walks it himself is like a cowman counting the cattle of others, but who has none of his own. All the holy words you read and all the holy words you speak are as nothing if you do not act upon them. Even if you read little and say little but live the right way, forsaking craving, hatred, and delusion, you will know truth and find calmness and will show others the path. And then the other ones, back here. Celebrate the one who has awoken. Celebrate the fire of his sacrifice and learn from him the way. Neither matted hair, nor noble birth, nor caste makes a man wise, but the truth and integrity with which he is blessed, and with which he lives. So, why am I drawing these into promotion? Why am I drawing these into kind of the military's way of showing how much worth you have, showing what value you have? Pretty simple, actually. When you look at it, the promotions in the military system, and to some degree this is also true for the veterans in our community who are out in the civilian world. One who does good is happy both in this world and the next. He is happy when he thinks about the good he has done, and happier still when he contemplates the path ahead. Now, theoretically, if you do good, if you do the right things, you should get promoted. Does that always happen? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. Promotions are as political as anything else, which is probably why, let's be honest, I'm probably not getting promoted. And you know what? I'm going to take that with equanimity and say, I don't care if I get promoted or not. Promotion or not promotion is not something that I care about. What I care about is service, right? So this is also me living with integrity, living with a certain sense of doing the right thing, right? Living the right way. This is me forsaking the craving, the hatred or fear and the delusion, which are hallmarks of military promotions, right? Craving should be obvious, right? Those who do more, those who crave promotion have to do more. You have to show that you're so much better than your peers. You have to do all this stuff so you can say, look at all this great stuff that I've done. Look at how great I am. As Buddhists, as Dhamma Boots, that's not us. In fact, rather the opposite. The Buddha said, we teach non-self. You don't sit there and try and promote yourself. You don't sit there and try and say, look at all the good stuff I've done. You just do it. You just do good stuff. You do the right things because it is the right thing to do. Because those are the right things. Not because you're seeking to put them up on a pedestal and be like, oh, I'm so awesome. Yay. Look, hooray me. No. You do them because they're the right thing to do, not because they are going to somehow show somebody, impress somebody or give somebody's opinion of you, change somebody's opinion of you. No, you don't play those games. You don't do it for that. That's not the point. Right? That's not the practice of the Dhamma. So we don't care about promotions. We don't give in to that craving, right? And what's behind that craving? Let's look at that too. So behind that craving is a hidden insecurity, a hidden fear, a hidden terror that is all too common across the military. I'm speaking specifically of officers, but you could throw enlisted in here too. Across the officer corps, there's a hidden terror, right? Because if you don't get promoted, you will be looked at as lesser, right? You somehow lose status, right? You become an embarrassment, right? You, in a lot of ways, kind of get laughed at. Or if you're really fortunate, you get pitied, right? And in an environment where the self and self-promotion is absolutely central to what you do, somebody pitying you is going to be terrible. It's terrifying, right? Somebody laughing at you is terrifying, right? So a lot of officers, and enlisted as well, a lot of officers will go through life just trying to find out of this insecurity, out of this overwhelming dread of not getting promoted, they will find anything to do, anything that they can possibly add to the calendar, any event, anything that they can possibly show that says, I'm better. I'm good enough for promotion. I'm good enough. You know what makes you good enough? It's not promotion. It's not doing all this stuff. What makes you good enough is not the quantity, it is the quality of your actions. If your actions are right action, then you really don't care how many of them you're doing. You are setting the example, you are living the example, you are leading by example just by doing them, just by doing the right thing. You can't be bothered if you're doing the right thing. You can't be bothered to care whether or not somebody else likes it, or whether or not somebody else will be impressed by it. It's just the right thing to do, so you do it. Right? And that's what the Buddha is saying here. Even if you read little and say little, but live the right way, forsaking craving, hatred, and delusion, you will know truth and find calmness. Right? Yeah, if you're doing the right thing, and not caring about promotion, not caring about who's going to be impressed by it, or how many OER bullets it's going to get you, you can live in a very calm life. You can live a very calm life as an officer and say, no, I'm not hurting others. I have forsaken that desire to do more. I have forsaken that craving. And we saw this with Angulimala, right? We saw this very clearly. When Angulimala was continuously doing more stuff, so that eventually he could go back to his teacher with the 1,000 fingers. You know who was doing more and yet doing less? The Buddha. Right? So as Angulimala was running and trying to get all these fingers, you know who wasn't hurting people? The Buddha. Right? So when Angulimala was chasing the Buddha and kept saying, "Stop, monk, stop, recluse," you know who wasn't doing anything? You know who wasn't harming others? You know who had given up harming others, who had stopped, who had ceased that harm? The Buddha. So he could walk calmly and in peace without interruption. You know who couldn't do that? Angulimala. Because he was stuck with these 1,000 fingers. He was stuck trying to advance, trying to get that promotion. And we, as Dhammabuds, as followers of the Buddha, need to do more like him. We need to stop hurting others to advance ourselves. We need to show that and be that example, right? We need to know that even if you read little and say little, but live the right way, forsaking craving, hatred, and delusion, you will know truth and find calmness and will show others the path. That's what we need to be doing as Dhammabuds. We need to be focusing our efforts away from all of this crazy stuff that people throw on the schedule so that they can justify their rating, justify themselves. Say, oh yeah, we're better than everybody else. We need to start saying, I'm not going to do more. I'm going to do less. But that less is going to matter. All right? Because that less will be doing the right thing. Not doing more things, doing the right thing. And in that way, we'll be following the Buddha's later instructions from 392 and 393, right? We'll be sacrificing our own promotion, right? Our own egotistical drive to advance. We'll be knocking that off tossing that off the cliff, right? So we will be celebrating the one who has awoken. We'll be celebrating the teachings of the Buddha, following his teachings. And we'll be celebrating the fire of his sacrifice, because the Buddha had it all. The Buddha had it all. He, in terms of promotion, he had everything that he needed to get promoted. And he said that was worthless. Left home, and ultimately was better off for it. He was a better person. He did more. If he had gone on to do as his father wished and conquer the whole world, he would have been forgotten like every other conqueror. But as a Buddha, one who had sacrificed all of that privilege, all of that wealth, all of that potential for advancement, he sacrificed all of that to help teach us, right? To find a path to enlightenment, to help us find a path through suffering, and in doing so, teach us how to do the same. And in doing that, He showed us that neither matted hair, which we can say is, going out and doing all these field exercises, all these field problems, all these tasks, and all of his training and all of his crap. That's the matted hair. So neither matted hair, nor noble birth, nor caste makes a wise man, but the truth and integrity with which he is blessed. If you're living your life the right way, if you're doing the right thing, you will have the truth standing behind you. You will have the truth as an army backing you up. And you will have your integrity backing you up. It won't matter whether or not you get promoted at that point, because you will be doing the right thing. You'll be living the right way and showing others how to do the same. So as Dhamma Boots, what I want us to think about, what I want us to consider is, how much extra effort are we putting into the wrong things? How much extra effort are we putting into things that really don't matter? How much extra effort are we putting into things that, at best, are pretty worthless? Promotion would be one of those. There are others too. How much effort are we putting into things that are ultimately, if we're really being good and honest, full of the three poisons? How much effort are we putting into things that are hurting others? How about we, as Dhamma Boots, take a look at that and say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to hurt others for my own advancement. I'm not going to hurt others just so that I can get some status, some bogus, egocentric, ego-enhancing status. How about we set those aside, start doing the right thing, and start showing others by our example of doing the right thing, of living with that truth, of living with that integrity. Let's find in our lives those things that we're doing that don't matter, that are full of the three poisons. And let's ask ourselves, should I be doing this? Should we be doing this? And if not, don't. Right? I'm going to leave it there. I've rambled on way longer than I would have liked. Dhamma Boots, salute.